Up next, we have Dr. Alastair Hood with Verdafero, the utility platform that saves business costs and the planet.
Okay. Can you hear me okay? What about that? Is that better? Okay. That one? There you go. All right. Hi, thanks. I'm Alastair Hood with Verdafero, and we've developed a platform to really help commercial businesses find the the waste within their utilities. Not just energy, but water, waste, propane with customers with wood pellets and heating oil, and really help them understand exactly where they're wasting money. And that is, we're talking about with green as in sustainable, but actually it's green as dollars. For the customer, everybody wants to be sustainable and look after the dollars, which looks after, for us, it looks after the greenhouse gases. But really, we help them pull in all the information. If you think of mint.com for utilities, pull in all the information from all areas, all the utilities, water, waste everywhere, analyze it, normalize it, put it into a platform that the customer can make informed decisions. This is the home screen where you can log in. This is actually a demo of a real live customer. I've stopped it and named it ABC Inc., but you can see where they're up 0.5% across all the resources year on year. They're up 5.7%, but they're down in gas, water, and waste. We can jump into electric here. So this is some details where you can see for December 2012 against December 2011, some metrics, they're down 10.9%, which we can see here. But really, across the year, they're up 5.7%. The interesting one here is this spike in July. Actually, whenever we looked at it for the customer, what's interesting for this facility manager, now he can see all his properties all in one place. And if we select that July figure, or sorry, that June, whenever we actually looked at it, we saw that it was facility number 7. So this is the big spike that was causing that across all his properties. Now he can see all his properties all on one page for electric. Whenever we looked into this, it was the headquarters and it was actually the HVAC system. And by noticing this, he was able to save almost $5,000 that month from this analysis. Now, what's also interesting, just from looking at this is facility number 7. It's an 80,000 square foot building compared to the rest of them are bank branches, 2,000 or 3,000 square feet. What we can look at is actually the total area. So normalizing it to the square foot basis, the energy intensity. Whenever we do that, it was funny, it jumped out, it wasn't facility number 7 anymore, it's facility number 2. And it was a small branch in Campbell that they were able to look at, and all it was a time clock on the wall was broken that was just running the HVAC 24/7. But he didn't notice this on his 40 pages worth of PG&E bills. So now he was able to spot this, the same as 5 and 6, and do fixes on it and save several $1,000s just from this across the year. So we're able to pull this all in, and I say we can look at it on electric, natural gas, water, waste, cost or usage as well. On the waste one here, we can see a diversion rate of 51.4%. In other words, they've diverted 51.4% away from the landfill. And that helps them save money. As we can see, some of our customers, like property management companies in San Francisco, their biggest expense is in energy. It's trash. And if they can divert a lot of the trash to recycling and compost, it helps them save money. So that's why we don't just focus on energy. And there's a lot of relationships between all the utilities. That's critical. So really we could go on and show lots more, but that's essentially it. It's pulling it all in for all the utilities. As I say, with customers who have wood pellets and heating oil, as well as transportation fuels and things like that. Not just pure energy. So, any questions?
How much of this is software and how much of this is professional services?
It's 100% software. We don't do any professional services on this side of the business. We don't do any hardware. This is billing analysis. This is analytics on the bills themselves. rolling in normalization of weather. We can lay on top occupancy for hotels, things like that. Burgers flipped at a burger joint. Whatever has a relationship to that particular utility, we layer on top. So that at the end of the day, the commercial business owner can make an informed decision, not just looking at his PG&E bill or his water bill.
So how do you acquire the data?
We acquire the data, so we work with the customer. So if the customer gets their bills, we can scrape their bills and pull the bills down. If we can hook up to the utility automatically, we do, and most of the electrical and gas companies we can. Some of the water companies, the trash companies are usually bills, which we scrape the bills and drop it in as easy as possible.
Do you need HANA for this, for big data software?
We don't use HANA. In fact, what we use IBM. IBM is one of our technical partners, and we use some of their analytics. We have a lot more analytics on the roadmap to be able to do a lot more in-depth analysis, because as our customer base grows and our database grows, there's massive amounts of analytics and opportunities that we can work with. So something like HANA or IBM themselves.
Many years ago, I saw a service like this for phone bills, phone communication.
That's right. Yeah.
Can you import or export your model to other?
Absolutely. It's exactly that. It's big data, cost, spend management, essentially, as well. So yeah, a lot of companies do it for mobile phone bills for Fortune 500 companies. And it's the same kind of top-down analysis, portfolio analysis down to the meter level.
So how much of a domain knowledge did you have to have in this utility industry to get your...
Right. Quite a lot. So going back to the first question, we started as a consulting business, doing a lot of this for businesses. We're approved by the City of San Francisco, and we're an Department of Energy star partner and stuff. So that's where we got the knowledge, and our customers were saying, this is great, you saved us lots of time and money, but what am I going to do whenever you disappear? I'm back to using spreadsheets and trying to understand my bills and the different number of days in the bill and so on and so forth. So yeah.
So do you make money as a flat fee, or are you getting a cut of all the savings you're offering?
No, we make there's a couple of different subscription models. We have a couple of subscription models for the end user on a per meter basis, as we add it up. But also we have channel models as well that we make money from. So third party service providers that do a lot of work with customers, we go through the channel and sell through them as well. Sorry.
How do you keep your customer interested after 6, 12, 18 months?
Yeah, so that's a good point. So yeah, they could use it for a few months and find the savings and all, but really, like businesses, costs aren't static. They're always moving, and I'd say it's an insurance policy, or if there's a problem, as with other customers we've seen, they've used it for a year or so, and then up popped a $15,000 problem that they're able to claim back money from the utility. So everything's always dynamic. So it's an ongoing problem. Hey, Brad.
Do you ping a customer? Do you actually have a way to let them know that something's out?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So
Can you make suggestions to them for things they
can? We can, but really the main thing is the alerts. They know their properties and their businesses better than we do, essentially, because we have customers all across the US. We have a big real estate investment trusts that have hotels spread across the US, with customers in Europe as well. So we don't know their buildings, but we can make some assumptions. But we do have an alerts section where they can set limits, and if it goes over that, it will alert them to say there could be a problem with this particular meter. So yeah. Sorry.
Who are your top competitors, and how do you see differentiate your business from them?
Yeah, so there's a lot of, as you probably know, in San Francisco, you can't throw a stone without hitting an energy efficiency startup. And there's a lot of people sort of compare to that, but we're not. We're not necessarily looking at the 15-minute data. We can, but there's massive amounts of analytics and insight you can get just from the monthly billing data. So and all the relationships that go along with water and energy, the water energy nexus as they talk about. So by looking at all the utilities together in combination, there's a lot of insight. So C3 are out there just up the road here with Tom Siebel with millions of dollars, hundreds of millions, trying to do this. And he said himself, it's difficult. It's not easy. IBM have something, Oracle, and the big guys have something, but they're going after the Coca-Colas of the world. There's nobody helping the TGI Fridays or banks and credit unions and things like that that have multiple properties. Gas stations, take that as an example. Health clubs, hotels, and that's where we play. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the companies that leave their lights on?
There's a lot of money to be saved there, and in fact, where this plays in, going green, people think, oh, going green, you need to have a lot of money to have a Tesla, which you do. But in business, going green is a surefire way to make money because there's so many multiples. We did a project for a hotel, and we found upwards of helped them find about $600,000 worth of savings in the hotel through lots of different energy efficiency. That multiplied up as a capitalization rate is about $8.5 million to the value, added to the value of that asset, that hotel. So for real estate investment trust, it's perfect. If they can find savings multiplied up as well as the business itself, it increases the value of that capital asset that they can sell on. So things like if you're a business owner and the property is your business, it's a perfect platform because there's all this leverage and all these multiples you can add on to it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We'll take one more question.
So are you planning to go fine grain with the connected devices, connected lamps, and
But potentially we can do that. The architecture is built that we can take that kind of data if need be.
that's more data?
It's a lot more data, exactly. It's a lot more data, and it's a lot more granularity, and you can get down to that level. But you're always going to need somebody with a intimate knowledge of the building, with a flashlight and a screwdriver to confirm if that's the problem. But yeah.
Are you equipped to get all this data and treat all this data?
We have the architecture built to do that. Now, connecting to it is a different thing because there's so many different protocols out there at the moment.
Awesome. Well, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.